Hi, preschool parents. Happy Thursday. I'm so happy to join you today for our Parents Thursday devotional. Hope your little ones are taking a good nap. Maybe you're getting a chance to sit down and have a cup of coffee or put your feet up for a few minutes or catch up on some things you need to do. But I appreciate you joining us for just a few minutes. I won't take a lot of your time. My name is Cherie. If I haven't met you before, I'm from the Forney campus and I'm happy to represent the preschool today. So our lesson this past week is one that's always interesting to teach to preschoolers because it comes from Revelations. And I don't know about you, but I barely understand Revelations, so to convey that to a preschooler is always really interesting. So I have my notes. If you've watched me before, you know I need my notes to keep up with what I'm talking about. But I just want to kind of go over that with you and give you a few ideas to talk with your preschool about. There's also some good reminders for adults in this lesson as well. As I was rereading it this morning, it was just sort of comforting to me in the times that we live in right now. Excuse me, to read these things. So it came from the book of Revelations in chapter 21, and the story was of John, and John was a follower of Jesus. After Jesus went to heaven and sat at God's right hand, John told everyone that Jesus is alive. Some people didn't care for that very much and wanted to hurt John and put him out of business on his good news spreading, and so they sent him to the island of Patmos so he could not tell anyone else about Jesus. But while he was there, God really did something cool and gave him a beautiful vision. And so that's what we talked to the children about on Sunday. And so John looked and he saw a new heaven and a new earth. This old one disappeared, and then John saw the holy city of Jerusalem coming out from heaven from God. Jerusalem was a special city because that's where the temple was built. So that was very important to this vision back then, and it's important to the book of Revelations. So anyway, this is what we talked about with the children, how God is making a new heaven, and someday that this earth will be gone and we'll all be together in heaven. To us and to believers, that's great news. But to a child, that can sound scary. They don't understand that we will all be together. It sounds like a lonely thing for them, or an alone thing, something they would have to do alone. And they're just not quite ready to comprehend that. So we focus on the beautiful things that are in this passage. We all know how the story ends. David taught us so well on Sunday that the fight is fixed and we win. God wins. And so I'm happy to be on that winning team, and I'm sure you are too. But for kiddos that are just laying the foundation of their faith, some of this is a little hard to understand. So let's talk about some ways to talk about the new heaven with your children. So in the vision, God went on to tell John that this new home, we would live there with him forever. We would be his people. He told John that God would wipe away every tear. There would be no sadness, no crying, no pain. All disease would be healed. Emotional illnesses and mental illnesses would be wiped away, and we would all be 100% healed and beautiful and perfect, and something really, really to look forward to. All old ways will be gone, and God will be with us. And so that is really, really a beautiful picture. So remind your child as you're talking to them that it's like if you fall down and hurt yourself, a skinned knee or a skinned arm, um, that hurts and it bleeds. But if you can imagine doing that, but it doesn't bleed and it doesn't hurt. So that is what it would be like to never be sick, to never be hurt. You could just freely worship, freely enjoy, and never have to think about any bad things that could happen to you, because all of that will be wiped away. Everything will be made new. So this was a really beautiful picture to paint for the kiddos. Something else you can do with them is have them close their eyes and imagine if they got to take everything out of their room today and redecorate it. What would it look like? What would they pick? What would be maybe their cartoon character that they would want to decorate their room, or something like that? And then have them open their eyes and tell you about it. The old has gone away, and that would be their new vision of their room. So something very tangible, real for them to imagine. Something else you can do is this is good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it, but wait till a room is messy. And then together go in and tell them, let's make this room all new. Let's put everything back. Maybe even make a before and after picture of that. What it looked like before and what it looks like after it's clean and all the toys are put away and the carpet is vacuumed. And get them to partner with you on making those things new. And use that as a great example of how the old world is tired and broken and it's a mess. And the new heaven will look so beautiful and so clean. And use it to your advantage. Get that room cleaned up and teach a lesson on Revelations and on the new heaven and earth as well. A couple of other ideas for you. Make sure they're practicing their memory verse. We will have a new memory verse starting next Sunday with our new lesson. And so, if you've probably noticed, we do the memory verses a month at a time, so there's repetition there. And so, make sure they're practicing their memory verse. There will be a link in the documents that I'll be attaching to this email, so you can practice that with them. Also, our song this month was one of the very favorites, Hosanna Rock. Everybody loves that song. We look forward to it all year long. And sometimes we pull that song out during the year just for fun because they love to remember it. If I was guessing, I would say it's one of the all-time favorite Sea Life preschool songs. I want to attach something special for you. So last summer, I had the privilege of traveling to Ghana in Africa, and we taught a lesson. I taught a lesson on the Lord's Prayer, but all the kids loved this song so much, so I brought a wireless speaker and downloaded this song before we went. And so every lesson I taught, I opened with teaching them Hosanna Rock, and they loved it. So I had one of the friends on the trip, one of my friends, Rebecca, come in one day and video me singing that with the children because I wanted to show it to the preschoolers when I came back. A couple of weeks back, I showed them some pictures and told them a little bit about my trip because I missed time with them while I was there. I had some pictures of crocodiles and some pictures of elephants, so I was able to show those. But then I shared this video with them, and their reaction to me was so heartwarming and a little unexpected. I began to play the video, and they all jumped up and started singing along. So my children here in Africa, in America, and my children from Africa were all singing together, and boy, it was a moment that made my eyes water just a little bit. So I've uploaded that video to our YouTube channel. I'm going to attach it here. I'd love for you to play that with your kiddos at home. You may have the same reaction I did because it was really touching to me, and just reminded me of how connected we all really are, and how beautiful it will be the day that we are all together in the new heaven. And I look forward to that day being surrounded just by all the people that I love. What a beautiful day that will be. And so just always remember that we're laying that foundation for your preschoolers right now so that someday they can accept Jesus in their heart when it's their time, their perfect time with God. And they can accept his son, and too, we will all be together there in the new heaven. One more lesson or one more activity you can do with them is I think everybody probably has some Lego blocks at home. And we talked about John's vision and how it was a new heaven and earth and how God was preparing a place for us. And so use those Lego blocks and have them build something new, something they've never built before, something they can dream up in their own mind to be a visual reminder for them that heaven, the new heaven of the new heaven. Sorry, I'm tongue tied. Of the new heaven and what that's going to look like. It'll be fun to see what their visions are. So don't forget, we'll attach a document here that'll have some questions in it that you can ask with your preschooler. Don't worry, there's cheat sheet answers on there. Luckily, they can't read, so you can see what they remember from the lesson. Don't forget the lessons on our YouTube page if you want to replay it, or if you didn't get to see that on Sunday. You can go back and look through the past few weeks of lessons. If you need some extra entertainment or a few minutes to yourself, pop those in and know that it'll be something fun, something they can do by themselves if they need to be entertained, and we love providing those for you. So I hope you've enjoyed our time together today. I've enjoyed it. I I love the lesson of the new heaven and the vision that's there. So we look forward to seeing you Sunday morning at 9 o'clock for our next preschool lesson, our new unit starting in May. And I hope that you all have a great day. We sure miss you. We're here for you if you need us. Feel free to contact myself, Kylie Bedford, Angela Howard, or Marlo Wade if there's anything we can do for you, anything we can pray about for you. We love you guys, and we'll see you soon. Bye bye.